When I was here, this area was primarily a playground where we played football, cricket and various other sports. That was the boys. The girls, I think, used it at times to play netball and rounders. We played mainly in the evenings up here, because when we played at weekends, we would play elsewhere, probably at Hackney Marshes. So fortunately we did have floodlights and we could play till quite late. It was a cage, basically. We had very high fences all around. I think it probably had one of those surfaces where whenever you fell over, you didn't get up very quickly because it scraped your knees and they hurt for some while.
What do you do in it now?
So this room is an art room, as you can see, and a lot of the young people come here for the art program, ranging from years 7 till upwards till like you're in university now, and there's usually like half-term programs, summer programs and also Saturday sessions where usually young people who are going into university would come and build on their portfolio, as well as Saturday sessions with like different workshops from like ranging from different tutors from like architecture, graphics, so it's like a range of different art programs and creative directions.
What do you think of the space here?
I think now when I first stepped in, it was very unfamiliar. There's different facilities here which I'm not used to. I've not touched, you know, the heat press or like done screen printing, which is in the other room there. At first it's very daunting, but now that I'm used to it, now that I've come here for like 4 or 5 years, I know what everything is pretty much, and I'm able to just use the facilities here with the permission of like the tutors. So yeah, it's a cool area.
So do you think this has given you opportunities you wouldn't have had at school?
Yeah, definitely, because I didn't study A-level art or go into an art and design sort of course, so I think coming here has allowed me to sort of explore the creative industry a bit more, like delve into more of like the different art directions I could go into. And I think I've always wanted to go into fashion textiles, but I didn't have like a sort of way in, if that makes sense. And coming here has, you know, given me the chance to try out these new techniques which I'm not used to. And if I didn't like it, it would have been fine. I could have gone into a different pathway, but I think this has given me that space and ability to try out new things.
Fantastic. And did you know it had been a football pitch before?
Nope. It's a bit crazy that it was. You know, I can't imagine it being a football pitch, considering that we're a bit high up from the ground. If that makes sense.
And what do you think? What do you think of it as an art room?
It's very, very different. Looking around at the size of the space, I can sort of visualise what we used to have, and it's just a different use. I mean, I think both of them were great uses, and I'm not sure having a football pitch necessarily was quite so useful for determining what our future careers were going to be. So maybe in that sense, it has more of an impact on people's lives than it did in our days.
What do you think of the art room?
The art room looks amazing, and I think it would have been great if we could have had something like this at the time, although I'm not sure if we had, I would have preferred that to the football pitch, I have to be honest.
And what do you think? Would you like to have had some sport here, do you think?
Maybe, I think so. Maybe having a sort of green area would have been nice, although we do have the garden, don't think it's big enough to have a lot of young people just being in that garden. So I think having that time and the chance to try out sports would have maybe gotten me into sports a bit more.
But you're happy with the art room?
Yeah, the art room I think is a safe haven for a lot of us kids. I think the art room has impacted my future, because without it I don't think I would have gotten into university. I wouldn't have that opportunity to even think about going into university in the career that I want to do. Maybe if I didn't have that chance, I would have gone into like law maybe, because that's the sort of subjects that I was doing at college. So having that chance to come here and try out, you know, what the creative industry can do for me has been really impactful.
I think that was a very interesting answer, because I went into law, and if we'd had an art room, who knows where I might have ended up. Perhaps I would have changed direction as well.
I think if I went into law, I know you were at law school, and so I don't know if I would have had the mental capacity, I think, to go into that sort of field, because I was struggling, I would say, at A-levels, because I was doing 3 essay-based sort of subjects, and, you know, doing those as well as coming here was a bit of a struggle. I don't regret my decision of both sort of avenues, because if I didn't make it at the creative sort of industry, I could always go back to uni and try out something new, go into the field of academia, because that is something I am also interested in as well. So it's a balance of both sort of pathways, I guess. I think because school is very much structural and you're always restricted on the sort of brief and the exams, you're always at school told what to do, whereas over here you're able to make that creative choice yourself. You can put down your ideas and experiment a lot more coming here, and it's a lot more free, if that makes sense, freeing.
I think where it may have been useful when I came here was I was quite academic, so I suspect there's a fair chance I would have ended up in law anyhow. But a lot of my friends who came to Brady weren't particularly academic, and I think if they'd have had this sort of opportunity, that might have helped them a great deal.
It's a balance, I would say. Like, a lot of people who aren't interested in academia would find the visual arts a bit more interesting, and I think it's the lack of opportunities, I would say. If people that you just mentioned had that opportunity to come here and try out the creative arts, it would have given them that sort of outlet to try out this new sort of creative direction and build a career out of it. And I think for young people, it's a lot more about taking those opportunities, and if you don't have those opportunities, I feel like you're just stuck and you're a bit confused about what to do.